Sorry.
Too short. It's like an 8-foot cord.
It is. It's literally 8 foot. All right, guys. Let's get this started. Welcome to Life Short, Live Free, episode 39?
Yes.
39.
I feel like you should be more confident about that.
It is a beautiful, beautiful Sunday afternoon. How the hell are you guys doing?
I am absolutely splendid. I'm far better than last week. I haven't broke anything today. But, you know, I'm just feeling good after spending the early afternoon out on the range.
Shooting airplanes.
Breaking things.
Well, yeah. Purposefully destroying things and breaking things on accident are two different things.
It was.
But it was fun. And finally, after a week of rain, we finally had one nice afternoon, you know, and I think tomorrow's supposed to be just as nice.
The whole week is supposed to be pretty much 78 or 80 and sunny.
Yeah, beautiful.
That grass is really going to grow fast.
Yeah, that's going to suck.
Might have to mow once more.
No, mine's not. Mine's all dead, so
mine was
got that going.
Mine was roached. It was like the Sahara out there. You walk across the yard and it crunched. And this morning, it's green as shit.
Yeah, mine was like that too.
No, mine's not. But yeah, we were out in the range. It's been a while since we did a range day before our podcast, like we used to do back in the old school days, of the podcast.
I don't know if this counts as a range day.
Oh, sure it does. We were shooting guns.
We were on the range.
We were on the range and we shot stuff.
So, what we did was we made airplanes, and
sounds fascinating.
Then we look at if you're watching on YouTube, seeing the video, or look at this fantastic piece of
aerospace engineering,
just
right here.
Jetstream. Oh man, it was a Jetstream.
Talk about Jetstream.
Yeah, that thing looks like it came from Phantom Works at Lockheed Martin.
Yeah. And that one is actually rocket powered.
I think Lockheed Skunk Works.
Yeah, this was definitely rocket powered. If you can't tell by the
scorching,
all the scorched wood on it, but
so. Before we get too confusing for you, we didn't just build airplanes and throw them. There was two guys on either side, and you threw your airplane, and the two guys unleashed with 12 gauges trying to shoot it down, and the person that got the farthest won. It went okay. It went okay. I mean, we didn't have any spectacular explosions of the airplanes or anything, but it was.
I'm not sure why we'd expect any of them to explode.
Well, what if
maybe the rocket?
Maybe the rocket, yeah.
But all the others were just duct tape and cardboard.
Yeah.
Well, we should have added some fucking tannerite to them.
Maybe.
Well, hey, and regardless, it was still fun, and just the challenge of building an airplane that you thought could either outmaneuver or withstand 12-gauge birdshot was...
That was my whole plan, was to withstand
the birdshot.
Yeah.
Mine was definitely to outmaneuver or
we hit it. We hit it once in the air. This got some peppering, but by that time it was so far away that it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But no, it was fun. It was a good day. We had a good time. So
yep.
Before I forget, this episode is sponsored by Ballistic Imagery. Check them out at ballisticimagery.com, as well as on social media, Instagram and Facebook. He's always posting some cool pictures.
Yeah, those. My wife really wants to buy one of those Cadillac prints that you had, the Cadillac headlight prints.
Got an awful lot of people that will want to buy things, but nobody buys things.
Well, you're gonna have to let me know.
You should be a little bit more friendly to people.
I treat customers a little differently than I treat you guys.
No, my wife thinks one of those Cadillac prints would look pretty nice in her living room. So
I think maybe if you had like an actual place, like on your website, you can go to purchase.
Yeah,
you could probably maybe talk. I don't know.
But yeah, no.
You do have some badass shit though. I like, and everybody seems to be liking your photos. So that's good.
Yep,
that is good.
I did want to ask you. Did I get that right on my comment? Did I?
I'm not sure if it's right or not. It's
a 73.
Julie commented on it, and it's her Bob's car.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because I knew it had
I didn't know if she knew exactly or not. I asked Adam what it was, and he said 71. But
because I thought
it was a 73.
For me, I knew it was 70 to 73, but for me, I thought the 73s didn't have the inset like turn signal lights. inside of the headlights, but that may just be a trim level between RS, SS, Z28, that kind of stuff. I'm not real sure, but
anyway, if you're wondering what we're talking about, go to Ballistic Imagery's Facebook. He's got a photo there of an old car sitting in a. I tried to buy that years ago, actually.
Did you?
He didn't want to part with it, and now it's just. That was 15 years ago, just rusted the shit now, and it's pretty worthless. It's too bad. But
did anybody else smell the sulfur out of the acid?
Yeah, it's glorious.
Don't you love that?
Oh, it just
they make gunpowder sulfur scented candles?
They make a cordite candle. Yeah,
I should totally get that.
They make
we should put those in this new studio.
They make like tire smoke candles too, and like burnt diesel fuel and like race gas and all kinds.
That
of weird
just sounds god awful.
Oh, it's awesome.
Gasoline in my house, wonderful.
I had a tire smoke candle that smelled pretty fucking good. I like that.
Doesn't burnt rubber.
Yeah.
How does that? I don't get it. They're just like Colin. We'll drive. It used to be we'd drive past like a hog farm or something. He'd be like, what a good smell. I'm like, dude, that's literally shit.
Yeah, hog shit doesn't do it for me.
Smell of money.
Like a silage pile, like fresh cut silage. Ooh, that does it for me. That really gets me fired up. But hog shit, nope.
Yeah,
can't
no
do it.
Speaking of shit that gets me fired up, whiskey.
Ooh.
Let's have some whiskey. This is not anything. The whiskey of the week this week is we've actually had Revel Stoke before, but we had the pecan flavored, it was glorious.
Mighty delicious.
I was watching back old episodes, and one of them we talked about having a podium for the flavored whiskeys.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
separately. Yeah.
Does anyone remember what
whiskeys?
What the best flavored whiskeys we have?
Screwball is by far the best at this point.
Screwball.
There's vanilla,
Screwball,
Jim Beam
the,
vanilla
and
something.
There was the Revel Stoke pecan.
The Revel Stoke pecan, Screwball, and
Jim Beam vanilla.
Jim Beam vanilla. Was that next, or was the peach bird dog?
I hope it wasn't the peach bird dog.
No,
I wouldn't have voted that one in.
That was just one of the ones that I remembered us doing. I think I was gone when we did the Jim Beam vanilla.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
I don't remember why I know you were gone, but I. So this is Revel Stoke peanut butter flavored whiskey. It's made with imported Canadian whiskey with natural peanut butter flavors. It is 35% alcohol by volume, which is 70 proof. Yeah, it's on the back.
I have pretty good faith that this is going to be pretty tasty, just because the pecan was good. Get your dirty fingers out of my glass. I was like, what?
Here, take some out of mine. I don't need this much
Good
ice.
Lord. Just digging your fingers into my glass ice. What a prick. But no, I think it's going to be good just because I know the pecan was so good.
Hey guys, you know what we forgot?
Whiskey. What you forgot?
Of the week. So yeah, the cashier said this was good.
Jesus, man.
So this is a sipping whiskey. I plan on sipping this.
What does anyone? Can anyone tell me what Revel Stoke means?
It's
where the name comes from?
It's Revelstoke is like a place in Canada. It's like a town in Canada. It's in the mountains. It's in the Rocky Mountains.
Boys, that's good.
Canadians.
That's got like it's got a burnt flavor to it almost. That's delicious. It's definitely got a burnt.
Oh yeah, you can smell this like toasted
peanut butter.
You can smell the stoke.
Toasted nuts.
The toasted nuts.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but me, that's delicious.
Yeah. See, I went down.
It does. It smells smoky. That's for sure.
So it was either between this, and I know we've had peanut butter whiskey, and I know we've had another Revel Stout flavor, but it was either between this or like Wild Turkey, and I'm like, what am I going to like to sip on more?
Yeah.
I'm going to get this.
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm going to rate this 4.
It's out of 5 now?
4.6 out of 5 there. Yeah.
Wasn't it out of 4 last time?
No, it was out of 5.
I'm pretty sure
it's whatever
gave it a 3 out of 4.
It's whatever the hell I say it is.
Do we have any of the Screwball left?
No, I drank it all.
You have a real problem, man.
Duff gave it to me, actually. That shit was pretty damn good.
I was going to try and compare it because I don't know.
This is pretty good.
I feel like it's better than Screwball.
I feel like it's less sweet which I like because Screwball was really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like opening a bottle
agree.
of whiskey and feeling the actual sugar in the cap when you turn it. It's like,
Yeah, I'll agree. This is better than Screwball. I think it's a little bit cheaper.
This is what, $17 or something. It's not very expensive.
Yeah, I'll be sipping this on Gears and Beers this weekend, fellas, or this week.
Gears and Beers. So we have a top dog for flavored whiskeys.
This is definitely the top dog for
top
flavored.
100%.
I don't know. I'm pretty partial to the pecan because
That was good too. But
absolutely
I don't think
my favorite nut.
It
is a
almost
pecan.
has like
you do like
it's
that.
almost
You
got
like
like
a lot of nuts.
peanut buttery coffee type.
It does, coffee burnt flavor.
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah, like the
I
toasted
kinda dig
flavor
it.
kind of does have like a coffee.
It's good.
It is
Yeah.
good. It's real
Say, I
good.
dig it. I might have some more.
I'm actually really impressed with how
Please
tasty
stoke
that is.
responsibly.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
That
I'm
Rebel
impressed.
Stoke. I might have to try
There's
some more of
literally-
the.
There's no burn.
Yeah,
None whatsoever.
Especially with there is if you did a pull, it's a little bit more, but when you mix it with the ice up in here, it kills it a little bit. And no, it's definitely freaking delicious.
I might try some more of the Revelstoke flavors if I find any other Revelstoke.
What other do they
flavors.
have?
I don't know. If I find any more, I'll grab them though. 'Cause
Bacon. You guys ever seen like bacon flavored vodka and shit?
Yes.
That
Bacon
was
soda.
That used to be so bad.
They had
pretty
bacon flavored whipped cream, all sorts of bacon flavored shit.
I was
The best bacon flavored stuff I found recently
Bacon.
was bacon flavored pork.
was bacon. No. The best non-actual bacon flavored stuff. I went to the grocery store in the Mars the other day, got a bunch of groceries, and I picked up, they had some salad on sale, or like lettuce on sale, and I like salad, so bought a couple of bags, and I'm like, Ranch Catalina, bacon ranch? Oh,
Gonna have to try that.
best
yeah.
shit ever.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think bacon belongs.
doesn't
The
sound
bacon
that good to
flavor
me.
belongs in bacon. I like if you put it
Yeah.
in anything else. To me personally, I
You don't ever put like bacon bits or bacon crumbles on your salads?
Yeah, but it's bacon.
Well,
That's
this is
good.
just bacon in ranch in a bottle.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Well, hey, I'm not gonna knock it till I try it.
Well, yeah.
I thought
That's
about
my
buying it one
style,
time, but
you
then
know
I was
me.
like, I'm pretty loyal to ranch.
See, my wife has been on this big onto the like pepper, like the spicy ranch or like chipotle ranch or whatever.
sure.
Ooh, that's gonna be cold. But I've been
Go back that way,
it's
though.
God, it's so gosh darn expensive. I've been cutting it with regular ranch. So like I'll put like the so I'll put like half of the amount that I would normally put in like the chipotle ranch, and then I'll put the rest in regular ranch. It's like God,
When I lived
I'm
with,
such a cheap ass.
when I lived with your cousin Tony up there in Sheldon, he literally bought that shit by the gallon at Sam's Club, like a big
Ranch?
old fucking
Hidden
gallon.
Valley,
of
yeah.
ranch.
I buy the biggest bottle they have every time I'm there. Like you go to like there's one aisle that has like bulk in like Fairway or Walmart or Hy-Vee.
Mhm.
There's like usually one section where you can buy like the gallon jug of pickles or a gallon of mayonnaise or like these huge bottles of ranch. That's where I go for ranch.
Good stuff.
And
Good stuff.
sliced jalapenos.
Back to the whiskey, and speaking of jalapenos, I was wondering the other day, I was trying to find on Google if there is a spicy whiskey out there, like a jalapeno whiskey, not like
there
a
is.
cinnamon whiskey or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think that would be.
I think they have it at Fairway. I swear I just saw
I
something
don't think
about it.
that'd be good at all.
I think it would.
I'm
Well,
a huge fan of jalapenos, so
Yeah, and I don't know. So
it could be delicious.
At altitude in Laramie, Wyoming, they have their own. They're their own brewery. I think it's
Yeah.
altitude.
Yeah, bird dog, jalapeno honey flavored.
Huh.
But is it spicy though?
I'm assuming if it's got fucking jalapenos in it,
It just says
probably is.
it just says
The
flavored
jalapeno,
though.
Yeah.
jalapeno has its own flavor, but
But they had a green chili
Although
beer that they brewed their own green chili beer, and they used chili peppers to brew this beer, and it was delicious, but not as a beer. Like I would pour that beer on a taco and eat it, but drinking it as a beer was no bueno, man. Like it was not good
yeah,
at all.
It couldn't have been that delicious.
No, it tasted like you were drinking salsa. It was weird.
It tastes like
It
So would
did.
it be good
was-
mixed with like another beer, like a tomato beer?
I bet if you drank it as a tomato beer, it would probably be fairly decent. But yeah, we just it didn't feel right. Like, it was weird drinking it. But I think the jalapeno whiskey, I think that could be pretty good.
I honestly can't get over how much I actually like this. In 39 episodes, I've never gone back for a second glass.
No, you have not. That is true.
You might not get to sip on any of this on Gears and Beers, Sam. It might be gone.
No, you can't have
Toad's sleeping on your couch tonight.
So yesterday, we had I'm on the fire department here in town. We had a training exercise. It's called the burn trailer. If you're not familiar with that is, it's a big
it's a trailer. It
enclosed,
burns.
big enclosed trailer. They have a propane tank on there, and there's several different spots in there. They have flames and they go in there and they throw hay in there to get the smoke and everything, that sort of effect going on. So they wait till it's nice and smoky. It's basically to simulate if you were going into a burning house, like the smoke and the flames and everything, and kind of get you acquainted with what it feels like to be in there. And this is the second time I've done it. I did it a year or two ago when I was first doing my training. But the thing that struck me the most, and this is the thing that strikes most people about this sort of thing, is the way that TV and movies portray firefighting is nowhere even fucking in the realm of realism at all. I mean, it's just fucking absurd how they Chicago fire, they just walk into a fucking house and hose it down, whatever. And where in reality, a lot of these times when these houses are, or you roll up on them, they're engulfed like that, or there's the smoke is so thick, you literally are crawling through these houses. And you still, when we first entered this trailer yesterday, the smoke was so thick I couldn't even see my partner. I was following behind him, and the only thing, you just follow on the hose, and so he's there because you're connected by the hose. But it's just like the way that they portray it is just absolutely fucking absurd.
Yeah.
And it's so different. But two, I wanted to kind of that was always fun. It's a freaking riot, and don't get me wrong. Like when you go in there and you got
careful with that word these days.
So you go in there and they got generally how like a house fire works. You get all this shit going next to the wall, and it gets up on the wall, and the smoke is burning, and you got flames over top of you. And so that's the kind of the cool part. You get in here and you got flames everywhere, and it's kind of like a realistic type shit. But anyways, being this week was 9/11, I've kind of been thinking about that aspect, and there was 343 firemen that died that day. There was 343 people in those buildings when they collapsed, firemen in those buildings. And I would bet you that the majority of those, what they were doing at that point in time was humping a lot of fucking hose and a lot of air tanks up. What was it? Almost 100 fucking stories.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, dude. I cannot fucking imagine. Just like I was telling you guys a couple podcasts ago about we had that hog confinement fire and how exhausted I was just after that shit. And then they're freaking humping hose and air tanks and all this shit up these 100 stories. Like, wow. Like,
and the other side of that is everybody here is volunteer, That was those guys' job. They lived at the firehouse, whatnot. They worked out all the time. They were in pretty good shape.
Oh yeah,
but still, that's like a superhuman feat because that bunker gear is not light.
Once you get your
equipment, I mean, you're hauling a lot of shit up a lot of stairs. I would have died at like the number 5 stair mark.
Right. Yeah.
It's bunker gear with your bunker gear and your air pack on and everything around 80 pounds. Probably. Plus, I guarantee they had hose on them. They had extra tanks on them because once you get all the way up there, you're not coming back down.
Probably tools too, axes, door breakers, things like that.
Well, and like a lot of those buildings, don't they have every so many floors, don't they have hose reels and shit?
Well, they have
in the stairwells and
yes,
stuff,
they
but
do.
they still got to hump those hoses.
They have water supply in there, so you're not, like what we do is we have an engine, a pumper outside of the house, and we're running all the water off that. On high rise, they have that shit built in, so you can go up 6 stories or whatever and hook onto the water supply up there.
Yeah.
Right. But they still would have had hose. They still would have had extra air tanks because those air tanks generally those air tanks last between, depending on how big they are, 4,500 psi or whatever, will last you around half hour, 45 minutes, somewhere in that ballpark. But if you're going up the stairs and you're
huffing a lot more air.
Yeah, I doubt that they had them hooked in yet using their.
Well, they should have just used the elevator.
Right. Yeah, that would have been.
Oh wait, that doesn't really work.
No, and I was actually reading some more about this, like I do every year on 9/11, more about the shit that was going on. But there was quite a few people. I can't remember the stat that it was, but why have I never just said that stat instead of trying to say that fucking word statistic every time?
It's because you're stupid, Sam.
God, I'm an idiot. But the stat on this was, I can't remember how many people that were trapped in the elevators and killed in those, and it was quite.
Well, I'm sure there was a lot of people, in a building that's that busy. I can't remember the number that the news had used during the broadcast, because I had on Friday I'd actually kind of rewatched some of the live broadcast from news stations on that day, because I vividly remember what I was doing, and and I was watching. I remember coming home from school and watching more of the news broadcast on it and stuff. And I think they said there was like 100,000 people that worked in, or there was like 40,000 that worked in the building, and 100,000 like people that were, visiting, whether it be business or, just tourists that were just visiting the buildings. There was roughly 100,000 people that were in and out of those buildings every day. So, I mean, with that kind of volume of people, there's going to be somebody on the elevators all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So, at the time of the planes impacting the buildings, there was people on the elevator somewhere in the building. And if, I guess I don't know the design of the building, whether the elevators were interior to the building, or whether, cables got cut when the planes struck the buildings or whatever. But that's a no-win situation there. I mean, if you cut the cables, I don't know if any of the brakes work, if any of that stuff works.
I don't think there was any. When I was reading about it, they didn't say that it wasn't from plunging.
The elevator didn't free fall.
But there was a lot of them that they couldn't get out. They just seal up and they couldn't freaking get out. That was part of it.
You were talking about vaguely remember where you were. Do you remember where you were?
Yep.
You?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just got to school. I was in the Commons area, and my cousin Mel came in and said we were joking about it. Some idiot ran in the World Trade Center. We thought it was just a Cessna or something. Some jackass that didn't know how to fly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I was in the library at a table with 4 friends, and I can't honestly remember who everybody it was, but Mr. Weiss came over the radio, and then Mr. Harpanaugh came in and said, "Guys, come into my classroom." And so we went in there, and he came on the radio, and he was like, "This is what's happened." I believe we were let out of school early.
I think so, yeah.
And I remember they told us what was happening and everything, and then I just was kind of like, holy shit, And then I remember getting home, and my mom just cried all day staring at TV. And then my dad got home, and he's an old veteran. He was just pissed,
Yeah.
And that whole thing, that 9/11, it literally consumed American life for about 3 to 5 years, I would say. I mean, it was still all over. The cleanup, everything took years and years, and
still is. Still people dying from it.
Yeah, for sure. And everybody forgot.
Not everybody, but anybody that wasn't all these 19, 20-year-old kids, Yep.
They don't remember that.
No, they don't remember, and they don't care.
They don't care.
Yeah. And I actually...
And that is what's so infuriating to me.
Yeah.
Like, I just get ragingly pissed off.
Well, and it's hard, like for me, I was in Box. You would have been in what, 6th grade?
I'm not sure. I think so.
Because I was in 5th grade. I was in Mrs. Hagen's classroom. We were in the old school building before they had the new middle school. And I remember my aunt, who was our teacher, bringing in a TV into the classroom. She kind of explained what had happened. And, a plane has flown into the World Trade Centers in New York City, and they believe a plane was hijacked, and they believe this plane that flew into the building was hijacked, and there's bad people who are taking over these planes who are trying to attack us, and kind of brought in a TV. And I don't think it ever went past 5th grade, but we got like these things called weekly readers. Does anybody remember those?
I remember those.
No.
It was just like a little pamphlet deal. But I still have the weekly reader that featured the 9/11 attacks. I kept it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember being in my aunt's 5th grade class. But I think you say all these younger people. I even asked my wife. Friday, I was watching a video. I was watching the video of the news broadcasts and stuff from that day, and just as I was watching, I asked my wife. I said, "Do you remember where you were? Do you remember hearing about it?" And she was in 2nd grade, and she was like, "No, I remember." Like seeing it on TV. I remember we got out of school early, and I remember, going home, and I think they were like living at her grandparents at the time, and like she remembers seeing it on the TV and stuff, but not really knowing what it was.
Yeah, I remember one of the things.
And I think that's something with the younger people. They don't remember it.
They don't remember how that felt and everything to see all that. Because I was 15. You would have been probably 16 when it happened.
Well, and as a 2nd grader, you don't know what that means. You don't realize all the implications of what it meant. So that's something too. Is like a lot of people can remember that 9/11 is an important date, but they don't physically remember what they were doing. They didn't fully experience it because they weren't mature enough to fully understand what was happening, so they don't have as much respect for that date because they don't remember, how important it was.
Right.
So
yeah, and that there's it's so hard to explain that to people like that too that don't, you can't. It's a feeling you can't describe, but everything going on now, and I'm sure you've all heard it. It's a quote from George Santana, I can't remember, but basically he said, "Those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it."
Yeah.
And those who don't study history are doomed to repeat it, type of thing. And that's what's going on. Like, you totally forgot the people that were there for us on 9/11, and now you've turned your backs on them.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, there. I don't want to get into conspiracy theories, but I did want to mention this, Johnson, that you weren't aware of. There was so those obviously World Trade Centers. It was 1 and 2.
Yep.
Those were the two main
North
buildings
and South Towers. Yep.
That went down. But it wasn't just those 2 buildings. There was actually the 7. I believe, if I remember correctly, it was World Trade Center building number 7 that also collapsed. The first 2 buildings collapsed around 9, 10 o'clock, somewhere in that ballpark. And number 7 didn't collapse until 5 o'clock that afternoon. Now, supposedly, and this is strange because this is not.
See, I never heard of another building besides the 2 of them.
Oh yeah, there was research this. This will blow your mind because it just doesn't fit in with the. So supposedly, what had happened was this number 7 was damaged from falling debris. Supposedly, it's like a 28-story, 30-story, somewhere in that ballpark building. And this was supposedly damaged from falling debris. And the official statement on what had happened to this was the falling debris started a fire that weakened the lower structures of it and eventually collapsed. Well, there's video of this fucking thing collapsing.
Well, why did none of the other buildings in that neighborhood or in that,
Is that the building that they think might have been actually blown apart from the inside?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Well,
I have heard about this.
It's so strange because of watching it collapse, the video of it collapsing, it's a demolition. A fucking collapse is if, you lose some of your structural support on the right side. You're going to fall to the right side.
Yeah.
You're going to tip over. Instead of, like, you've all seen the demolition buildings. They go straight down.
Straight down, yeah.
And that was the exact same. If you look at the actual World Trade Center, how that went straight down as well. It's just like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not.
You
but
kind of are.
You are a bit.
I tend to. Yes, I'll question things.
But what you're saying really ties into that whole 9/11 was an inside job.
Well,
thing.
it's just I don't know, man. Like, so, Box, have you seen this shit about number 7 at all?
No, but there's always the conspiracy theory part of it. Everyone's always like, there's no way the planes could have done that, so it was an inside job. Okay, if the planes couldn't have done that, why does it mean that it was an inside job?
I'm not saying it's an inside
job. No, I know.
Right.
I'm arguing about all these other people.
Right.
Saying it was an inside
we weren't
job.
going to get into this.
Right.
Why could it not have been the enemy? Obviously, whoever did it was the enemy, but why did it have to be an inside job for those towers to collapse? That's everyone's
right.
If they could hijack planes and fly them into the World Trade Centers, they could also plant explosives enough to drop the buildings. Yeah, no, I understand.
I don't know. Why would they do that?
Yeah,
that would make that would open up the whole entire plan to being busted open.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason for them to plant explosives in that building. And the thing that's really weird about this, just look into it a little bit after we get later in the week or whatever. But there was specific financials and everything housed in that building everything is just extremely suspect.
And here's my other thing is, there's a lot of people who burn their buildings down just to collect insurance money.
Right.
That could have been another situation of that. Hey, World Trade Centers 1 and 2 are blown up. We're going to have a huge problem paying for these. Let's collect some more insurance money. Let's burn down World Trade Center number 7. I'm just saying that's another possibility.
Yeah, but
there's people who burn down strip clubs to save their ass on money. So it's not to say that, it's not out of the realm of possibility that somebody would burn down a government building or a financial building to save their ass on money.
True.
The truth of the matter is, everyone can speculate as much as they want. We're never ever going to know exactly the truth. It could be exactly what it says it is. If not, well, you're never going to fucking know.
Yep.
Do you guys know it is true? FedEx is stealing ammo from people.
That could also be false.
Yeah,
I was trying to get you off the topic.
It was a good effort.
We said we weren't going to do it, and then we did it, and it's like,
I appreciate
we got to
the
stop
effort.
them now, or it's going to go on forever.
I appreciate the effort.
Actually,
does anybody want some more ice for the glasses?
Yeah, please. Box, why don't you take the lead on this one? You mentioned
I came across this video the other day.
Thank you.
And I don't know who this guy is. He's apparently a gun dealer in California, and somewhere over by Bloomington, California, somewhere over there. But he's apparently had issues with FedEx stealing ammo out of his shipments. And I Googled it just a little bit ago, just a vague Google saying FedEx stealing ammo. And there's a lot of results of people saying FedEx and UPS have stole my shit. And that's kind of, why wouldn't that happen? Sure, it blows my mind, but at the same time, why wouldn't, if you're working at FedEx and you're a piece of shit, like come on. There's plenty of pieces of shit. Why would that stop them from stealing your shipment?
Yeah, if you're a scumbag that just, I got to deliver this TV and it's heavy and it's a pain in the ass, I'm just going to throw it over their fence. What's going to stop you from saying, I'm also that same scumbag piece of shit who would throw your TV over the fence. But I own a lot of illegal firearms, and I see that you have a box of, that's labeled hazmat. Yeah, I'm stealing that shit.
Yeah.
I don't see it being out of the realm of possibility.
Sam has a video loaded up over there. You guys are just going to hear the audio from it. The video is not much worth seeing, but it's from this, I I don't remember his name, Whiskey Tactical 1 or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Is the guy who had all this shit stolen from him, and he's bitching about it in this video, and he's pulling out empty, like there's half full boxes of 9mm and stuff that he's pulling out of his shipment.
All right, yeah, I'll load this up here. Hopefully I don't fuck it up like I did last time.
Ready.
Go.
All right. I kept my mouth shut for f***ing long. FedEx, stop stealing f***ing ammo. We have a claim for almost $10,000 because FedEx, their employees at a distribution center, likes to open up the packages, take the ammo out, and retape it. I've even got ammo delivered, boxes delivered, with no f***ing ammo inside. It's even gone to the point where they're taking individual boxes out and taking ammo, and this is how I'm getting delivered, okay? Joe, how much ammo you think we've f***ing lost? It's pretty much all the time now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I kept my mouth shut too f***ing much. Hey, you bad cheese motherfuckers. Stop stealing f***ing ammo that belongs to us and to the people that want to buy them, all right? If you want it, come f***ing buy it. Don't steal it.
Oh, what location is this going through?
Oh, I think it's coming at a distribution Bloomington. Stop stealing
Or we'll get ATF involved.
See, I don't
He's
see.
not happy.
I don't see how the ATF is not involved in something like this. Maybe they are. I'm not saying they're not. But how would they not be involved in something like this? Of shipping companies stealing firearms and ammo.
Well, I think if they were stealing firearms, they would definitely be involved.
Oh, that was one of the things that came up in one of my very quick Google search was FedEx stole my fucking gun.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I feel like they probably are involved in any of the lost firearms. They're going to get involved very quickly. But for ammo, I don't know. It's hard to say because, you know, it's just like any other good that's purchased online and delivered. You know, there's no any special restriction other than, you know, the driver having a hazmat or the seller shipping it having hazmat.
Ammo's not hazmat, is it?
No.
No, you don't have to ship ammo hazmat.
Or no, I guess just like primers are
primers and powder. Speaking of which, I got 18 pounds of powder.
That confuses me. Primers and powder
Yeah,
are hazmat, but primers and powder together are not.
Yeah, but completed ammunition, now that's fine.
Didn't you say your hazmat fee was only like 20 some bucks?
$11 for 18 pounds of powder.
Well, you only pay one hazmat per package. So if they can put it all in one big ass box, it's only one hazmat fee because you have one hazmat package.
I know you're a firefighter, but I sure as should hope your house doesn't ever catch fire.
Oh, dude, compared to there's so many people that have so much more than me. I probably got 25 pounds maybe maximum.
Yeah,
you know, and that's not that much. I know people that have hundreds of pounds, and
yeah.
Oh, that bite had a little bite to it.
That
drink had a little bite to it.
Bite had a what?
Back to
Lost my faculties there for a second. I tell you, Jesus Christ.
But as far as no, that doesn't surprise me, and it's not. I mean, let's get this straight. It's not FedEx or UPS stealing shit. It's the piece of shit employees.
That works.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not the companies themselves.
I mean, if they're aware of the situation and they're negligent in correcting it, obviously yes, then this falls on them.
To me, it's a pretty easily corrected problem too. Like
How so?
How?
You fire that piece of shit and then hire another one. How do you stop hiring thieves?
Pieces of shit. See, that's
how do you prove who it is?
That's what I'm saying, though. Well, because they have specific routes. It's not like it's just a random crapshoot of who delivers where every day.
Yeah, but there's
this
people
one gun
inside...
shop. This one gun shop has been reporting stolen shit over and over. The guy who is repeatedly delivering to their place over and over.
That's not
It doesn't.
him.
It's not necessarily.
I know, but I'm
carrier,
saying
though.
you investigate him. You investigate him, and if he clearly, you know, has no past record of being a piece of shit or stealing shit, then you track it backwards from there.
But there's people inside these distribution centers, like random, like, I mean, all of this shit that's being loaded onto this guy's truck is accumulated by probably dozens of other people. you
Yeah.
know? So it's not exactly easy to track.
It is easy to track. If you don't think that FedEx and UPS, as much money as they make and as much money as they are reliable for in insurance, if you don't think that they have cameras all over every goddamn square inch of their distribution centers, you're on meth.
Yeah, but like I said, you find out who did it, and then you hire somebody else.
Yeah. I mean,
What's stopping the
that's all
next
you
person from stealing anything? So it's not easy to stop because you
No,
can't.
it's not easy to stop. It's easy to remove the person that's responsible.
Right,
really
but that
doesn't do
that doesn't
anything.
fix the problem. That fixes the
It's a
what's the
Band-Aid.
word? Fixes
It's
the
a Band-Aid,
symptom.
yeah.
It fixes the symptom, doesn't fix the illness,
Right.
as they say.
Yeah.
So
I would say that.
You know,
but
we've like had people call in like, so and so, we paid you in cash and we got a bill. You know, so one of the things I always do is I triple document everything when I get paid cash, and I hate get paid cash for a job, but I print out a receipt, circle the area where it says they paid this amount of cash. I sign it with my employee number. I document it on my phone as well, and then I take a picture of it.
yeah.
And then
You motherfuckers gotta quit eating ice. God,
I was chewing over here.
I could still hear it.
sorry, sorry,
Fuck,
Toad.
I'm sorry.
But-
Continue.
that's
Yeah.
just one way to protect yourself from being, called a thief. But at the same time, you're right. I agree with Box. How the fuck can't they narrow this down to 1 to 2 people that's doing this if it's coming from the same distribution center?
And they probably can, but what the point that they're making is you can't stop hiring pieces of shit that,
That's their bread, and that's their employee pool that they hire out of is lower income.
Yeah,
and,
well,
and let's get
depends
this
on-
straight.
it-
We're not calling lower income, whatever,
it
but-
depends.
I'm pretty
on,
sure we all qualify as lower income.
Yeah, but it all depends on the area, the area as well, because people around here, most of the people that I would say that most of the people that work in our distribution center or the distribution centers in the Midwest are pretty stand-up people. Like most of the people that I know that work for FedEx or UPS, they're all pretty stand-up people. They're all, people that I would believe that wouldn't steal from packages or do things like that. But, when you get into these bigger cities and you're looking, you're basically your employee pool is a bunch of people looking for work that don't really want to work that hard.
Mhm.
They,
So
I mean, and that's in any that doesn't just apply to UPS and FedEx. That's any job.
all right.
You get into a bigger urban area, you have a higher likelihood of hiring a piece of shit who's going to steal something. That could be from anywhere.
Do you guys think that this is beginning to be more prevalent now, because of the ammo shortage, or is this an ongoing problem for years?
I think it's an ongoing problem. There's
I think
articles from as far back as 2016 I've seen. I'm sure that was just in the first few results that I saw on Google, so I'm sure it goes
And
farther back than that.
I'm sure it's more prevalent during situations like the one we're in
Absolutely.
too, where people can't get ammo and they're like, oh, this they're not going to miss a few boxes or 1,000 rounds out of a 10,000 round shipment. I'm going to
Well, and that could be, like in an urban environment like that, and in a bigger city where you have gangs and shit like that, where people are looking for ammo and say, hey, I got a buddy that works at FedEx. I wonder if they can get us some ammo.
Yeah, true.
That could very well play into the situation, because if they can't go to the gun shop and buy ammo,
Nobody
they're
can
gonna
right now.
Yeah.
right, they're gonna go to people who they're gonna find connections to get themselves ammo.
Yeah, and speaking of people not being able to go to the gun store and buy ammo, even if a lot of times you do find ammo on the shelf, there's a lot of places right now that are just gouging the fuck out of it.
Yep.
Cheaper than dirt is
fuck
notorious.
that place.
The worst fucking one. They're every opportunity to get. They're selling Anderson lowers for $200 right now.
Jesus
Was it 200? I'm pretty sure it was 200.
See,
what
Primary
was-
Arms sent me an email that they'd restocked and they had Andersons in stock, and I think they were like,
$25.
no, they were.
I think that's what I paid for mine.
I paid $30 for mine here in town.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
and a lot of times like this,
they weren't really price gouging. They weren't exceedingly. I think they were $49 or something like
well,
that.
that's normal. That's pretty well normal
If
price.
you have
for
a
Anderson.
lower for $100 or less, I don't think that's pricey. Well, depending.
Well, on an Anderson,
Yeah,
boy.
$100 is
But anyway,
pushing
so
it.
there's opportunistic motherfuckers that they know they have a product that somebody wants cheaper than dirt, and they gouge the shit out of it. The day after Sandy Hook happened, Cheaper Than Dirt marked their 30-round magazines up that were previously the day before $14, $15 to $100.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, I said, I will never buy a fucking piece. I will never buy anything. Even when I'm looking for something right now, saying I'm in the search for quite a few things right now. I don't care if I click on their website. I don't ever click on their website, but if I found it for cheaper than I can normally find it anywhere else, don't care. Won't fucking buy it. Don't fucking care. I will not spend a cent with them.
Even if they're the only place that has it in stock, I'm not buying it.
No.
Depends how badly I need it.
No.
I think I'd put my pride and need above.
Nope.
Principle.
Won't do it. Even
Why?
if they
if there's a threat to your life and you need ammo and Cheaper Than Dirt is the only place you can get it, you wouldn't buy it from them?
No, fuck them.
You'd rather lose your fucking life than and not be able to defend yourself.
I'm not gonna. First off,
pay a little extra money.
First off, I'm not gonna put myself in that situation.
It's not whether or not
This
you're being
conversation's fast becoming a
I'm
confrontation.
not gonna.
It's not about being put into it's not about putting yourself into a situation, Sam. Look at the world, how the world's turning. It could be a situation that you've been placed into, and you're just completely fucked. You're not gonna. You're just no. It's the principle of the thing. I'm not buying from them. I'd rather fucking die.
I don't understand when there's ever going to be a situation where I have to buy from Cheaper Than Dirt. I'm going to die, but
it was a hypothetical question.
The only time I ever bought anything from them was when Obama got reelected a second time. My dad and I went together and we bought 1,000 rounds of 223.
And how much was it? $800?
$217.
Well, that's not bad. See, they weren't price gouging, but that's my principle is I will never buy from them ever.
Actually,
and if everybody did that, if everybody fucking knew, but the problem is most new gun buyers don't fucking know that they're pieces of shit and they buy from them.
There's one that I found recently that I really, really like, and I was cruising it last night after I got home, and I was looking for. They sell birdshot by the case, and I was looking for some pheasant shot, a case of pheasant shot, which was 250 rounds. And they had a case of, I think it was Rio number 4 shot. For like $109. Didn't think that was bad when you consider a box of pheasant shot at the store is like $10.
Yeah.
But then I was like, what do they got for pistol ammo? Everything else on this website's super cheap. Even their rifle ammo that they have in stock, they don't have any 223, but everything else is normal price. They had a box of, and it's killing me because I can't remember. I want to say it was like Herders or something like that.
Fur burgers?
No, Herders.
Fur burgers.
Which normally you would pay $11.99 for. It was $39.99 for a box of 50.
See, that's and that's it. It's opportunistic. Like I ran across a post earlier this morning or earlier today on Facebook. It was Axel.
It wasn't that early
Axel
this
on
morning.
USA or something like that. No, I didn't get up till 10.
Axel Rose?
It was like Axel in USA or something. Oh, check out our website. We have 9 mil in stock. 1,000 rounds. Guess what it was?
$700.
$720 fucking dollars.
Jesus.
For 9 mil.
For 1,000 rounds. That's 72 cents. Normally you can 9 millimeter can be had.
17 cents.
What?
9 millimeters usually 17
Generally,
cents.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and that, I mean, yeah, you can sometimes find it cheaper.
Yeah.
And I commented and I said 72 cents on a hard pass, and somebody says, "Well, just distribution prices have gone up." Fuck you. They have not gone up 4 times. That's quadruple. Was that quadruple? Fucking almost 5 times. Whatever. No, honest people with integrity are going to charge the same as Northwest Iowa Firearms right now. Guess what? He got in 20,000 rounds the other day. He didn't fucking price gouge them. He marked up the same exact percentage as he usually does. He got his money off of them, and he sold 20,000 rounds out of, the same fucking way he always does because he has integrity.
In like a day.
Oh, it was an hour, and he sold. It was less than 2 hours, and he sold 20,000.
Well, and that's the thing
I was
is,
supposed
like,
to text the chief of police in Alton to let him know he had 223, and by the time I saw it, it was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, people see these small town gun shops and shit like that, and their prices increasing. Well, their price is increasing.
Yeah.
With the short supply and everything, they're getting, they're having to pay more for the product to put in their store, and
Toady, you're gonna drink
they're
all of that
packed-
shit, or what the fuck,
whole
dude?
fucking bottle.
Dude, this is some good stuff.
Jesus, you're
The
welcome.
only thing I think is Rebel still could really work on their cap design because you cannot put that back on.
you can't tighten it. No.
Sorry, Johnson.
But no, that's a big thing. Is a lot of these small town gun shops and stuff they have an increased cost. They can't afford to keep. I can't sell you 223 at 24 cents a round if I'm paying 28 cents a round for it. Not gonna lose money on it. So they're doing. I bought it for this much. I mark it up for X amount %. That's what we've always done. So we're just continuing that. So and. People have to expect in times like these to pay a little bit more, but just make sure you're paying attention about places that price gouge,
and
just be vigilant.
Don't freaking buy from those prices that price gouge when they're not price gouging, because they don't freaking deserve it. And in times like, you can tell, who it is, Cheaper Than Dirt, a lot of other freaking places, when they're doing this shit, don't freaking patronize them when they're not doing this shit.
Yep.
Because they will fuck you in the first chance they get, and they don't give a shit about your rights.
That sounds great. I could go for that.
Hey, you do
It's
you,
been
Box.
a while.
You do you, Box. I'm just saying.
What was that he said earlier? I remember the last time I had sex.
Oh, boy.
That is the baddest son of a bitch I have ever seen ever.
Yes, the baddest dude of the week.
Yeah.
You caught me by surprise. I didn't even know we were here already.
We are
We're an hour in. I guess I've been recording for a little
almost
bit longer.
almost an hour in.
Well, this isn't really a story, but this is, and it's multiple people actually. I'm sure some of you have heard about this. The California National Guard during the wildfires out there. Wildfires are pretty much hammering California right now. Over Labor Day weekend.
Basically, the whole West Coast. Like, I think Oregon and Washington are all. I think they're all
Wyoming.
involved in these.
Tim was out in Wyoming elk hunting a week and a half ago, and he had to go help with a 15,000 acre fire. I think it ended up going to 30-some thousand acres before they got it controlled.
Boy,
Yeah, shit's nuts out there.
Yeah, that whole West Coast. She's really burning up.
Anyways, over Labor Day weekend on Shaver Lake in California, there was this dock and this campground that became encircled by flames. And there was this pilot, Joseph Rosamond. He was piloting a Chinook.
Chinook.
That's what I thought.
CH-48.
And Kip Goading was in a Blackhawk. And the emergency crews on the ground, they were telling him, no, it's too risky. Go land at this ranch that is a few miles away. And Rosamond, Goading was following Rosamond in his helicopter. So Rosamond was kind of leading the way, They just kind of teamed up. And he replied, just tell us where the people are. We're going to get them. So they said when they got there, every piece of vegetation for as far as you could see was on fire. They had to wear night vision goggles to see through the smoke. So it allowed them just to have a little bit of contrast and silhouette, because without the night vision goggles, you just couldn't see anything at all. They ended up landing within 50 feet of the flames, and Rosamond, he took 102 people in the Chinook, which is
102
passengers,
civilians or firefighters or
no, he was rescuing 102
campers.
people, campers at this campground. And that helicopter is only designed to fit 30. He said they pretty much maxed out the weight on that helicopter. And the Blackhawk took 22, and that's only designed to take 11 or 12. They ended up making 2 more runs, and they rescued 214 people.
Wow.
They were going till like 1:30 in the morning. Jeez. I was thinking this reminded me of this earlier though, when you're talking about your burn trailer. You can't see shit going through the fucking trailer. And imagine in a snowstorm, like a terrible snowstorm, if you're out driving or something and you're straining to see the road, and say you drive a half an hour or something, you get fucking tired after that, after straining for so long. Imagine flying a fucking helicopter through the mountains carrying 102 people and not being able to see anything.
Yeah.
That's got to be. Oh man,
The other
I can't do that.
The other takeaway from this was these were National Guard.
Yep.
These guys aren't full-time soldiers. This isn't what they do as their day job. These are National Guard pilots, and they might work for the National Guard. But that takes a lot of fucking balls.
Absolutely.
I mean,
especially after being told, no,
don't go.
Yeah, bad idea.
That was the first thing I saw when I saw that article. Was pilots rescue 200 people after being told not to go.
So were those 200 people and surrounded? Were they?
Yeah, they were at a campground, and they were at like the dock. It was at a Shaver Lake, like I said, and they were all apparently real close to this dock, and they were completely encircled by flames. The flames were within 50 feet when these helicopters landed.
Wow. Yeah, that's
insane. Like,
good on those dudes. Badasses.
Yeah.
It's nice to see we got a lot of our badasses are in the past, World War I, World War II. Nice to see some real badasses, even if they were from California.
Yeah. It's like you said though, comparing that to like a snowstorm, that's very true. You drive through.
Oh man, it's
even
exhausting.
just driving a car, through a shitty snowstorm or anything low
Your
visibility.
eyes get so tired.
You just get beat after a half an hour. But yeah,
then you max out a weight capacity on a helicopter and fly through mountains. And no man,
Jesus, the balls
can't
on
see
them
anything.
dudes, yeah,
crazy shit.
That's awesome though.
Take a look, it's in a book. Time traveling with Toad. With Toad.
Yeah.
This episode of Time Traveling with Toad brought to you by Rebel Stoked Peanut Butter Whiskey. If Sam doesn't take it away from me, I'm going to drink the rest of it.
Yeah, somebody take that shit away.
Okay. So the one I picked is something I would like to.
You guys remember the last time Toad did a Time Traveling with Toad?
Johnson, don't stand up. No, I did it last week, and Johnson
That's
broke
true.
the thing.
I just watched one of the older episodes where you were hammered, though, and you were stuttering through the entire thing.
I was butchering chickens before I got here, and we started drinking at like 10. And then I showed up, and I was like, boy, I really don't think I can do the podcast. And then we did it, and I watched that same clip, and I was like, wow, I was f***ed up. But this is the one I picked here is something I would actually like to see repeated, but in a semi-auto. I think it would be awesome. It would be impractically large. But so we're going to go back to 1856. Dr. Jean Alexander Francois Lamat created the Lamat revolver. It had a 9-shot cylinder for 42 caliber rounds, and underneath that barrel was another bigger barrel for a 15-gauge shotgun.
Wow.
The Lamat was later adopted for use by the Confederate Army during U.S. Civil War. This unique sidearm was also known as the Grape Shot Revolver due to its unique ability to transform from a 9-shot revolver to a single-shot shotgun. It had a lot of problems. For example, its higher number of revolver rounds in the attached shotgun barrel added weight to it, which complicated aiming, firing, and reloading. In fact, reloading the gun was so problematic that it was almost impossible to do in the middle of a battle. And that's where that article ends. Wow, that's neat. Anyway, can you imagine though, like somebody today, if they made like a Glock style firearm, but underneath of it was just like a little 4-inch 12-gauge barrel?
That would be. First of all, join the Wrist Breakers Club, because that would absolutely shatter your wrist. But it would be such a good time.
It wouldn't, though. Everybody. That's one thing I don't get about the gun community. Oh, it's a wrist breaker. You've never shot it. Don't fucking say that. Because I've fired some pretty goddamn big guns, and my wrist has never been in danger of breaking.
Right. Like in a 45, like I understand, like shooting a 45-70 one-handed and all that. Not.
It's not bad. Even the Desert Eagle, that's the most notorious wrist breaker out there. I shot it one-handed just to prove
No, it is not. A 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum with a snub-nosed barrel. That's a real son of a bitch.
that would be snappy.
But to me, like people who shoot a 12-gauge single-handed and say, see, it's not a wrist breaker. Well, no, you've got an 8-pound fucking shotgun with a 30-inch fucking barrel. The whole thing the weight of the entire thing takes up all the recoil. You put that in a 3-pound revolver-sized package and then shoot a fucking 12-gauge shell out of it, it's going to recoil.
It's 15 gauge.
Regardless, it's going to recoil way harder than if it's a full-size shotgun that you're shooting one-handed.
I still think it'd be awesome.
It would absolutely still be awesome.
I had a double-barrel 10-gauge pistol grip shotgun in here one time. It was must have been 18 inches.
Was it 2 triggers, double trigger?
Yeah.
Can you
and
imagine
the stock was cracked. Weird.
grabbing a hold of that son of a bitch and pulling both triggers at the same time?
That may very well break your wrist.
The one time I actually shot a side-by-side 10-gauge, Cash Howe owned it. Pretty sure he still has it. It was some Italian-made deal. He goes, aim at that brush pile up there, because he lived right down the road from me. Okay. It knocked me fucking back a couple of steps, and that whole brush pile, vibrated.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
10 gauge is no bullshit. That is not a fucking around.
My cousin uses a semi-auto 10-gauge to hunt geese.
Sounds like a good time.
He's
not
considerably larger. He's considerably larger than I am.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, none for me, thanks. I've shot
What a douche!
Sorry, I hit that prematurely.
That's all right. You're generally premature.
You're the douche.
I'm already used to that.
No, I've shot 3.5-inch turkey loads out of 12 gauges, and that's pretty comparable to a standard 10 gauge load. It's fairly comparable, but I've seen some hand loaded 10 gauge loads that I'm gonna pass on.
Look like a fucking quarter stick of dynamite.
Yeah.
See, the only time I ever shot anything one handed and it hurt my hand was, do you remember that single shot Donaldson used to pheasant hunt with?
Yep.
We put a 3 or 3.5-inch goose load in that thing, and I was like, I can do it. Bam! I was like, yep, here's your shotgun back.
Yeah, I don't want to do that again. All right, so what a douche this week.
The wad?
The wad. The wad for the week is a guy.
What a wad. That's actually you've never called anybody that? You wad.
I've literally never called anyone a wad.
Nope, never. But the
Box, you want one of those things?
douche this week is a 32-year-old man from Florida named Daniel Sharp.
Sharp?
Sharp. Like Sharp's Rifle Company.
Got it.
But he's a douche because this is fake. And it pissed me off. So he ran a Facebook page and posted this story about himself to make himself feel better. But
oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a twist.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
So he owned a Facebook page. He put himself in this news article to make himself.
What are you doing?
I'm hot and the ice is cold.
I think you're drunk.
Christ. But
Maybe a little bit.
The story reads, Florida veteran convinces 2 female officers to have a 3-way instead of giving him a ticket. So Marine Corps combat veteran was pulled over at 3 a.m., leaving a Taco Bell for going 29 in a 20-mile-an-hour zone.
Leaving a Taco Bell.
Yeah, the 2 unidentified...
He made it up. Couldn't he come up with something better
Come
than
up
that?
with a better place to eat than fucking Taco Bell. I completely agree. Basically, he was saying that these 2 female officers pulled him over for speeding. Instead of giving him a ticket, he sweet-talked his way into a threesome with these 2, and then he was arrested later for lewd acts in public with these 2 female officers by other responding officers.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
So this guy's a douche because he made this whole story up. He posted it all over his Facebook page. It got shared a bunch of times, and do a little checking, and no, he was just trying to make himself feel a little better.
So time out. Did you know this when you walked in here earlier today and you said this was... You did some research then to try and verify the story.
I did some research I was going to say this guy's a true fucking legend. And then I did some more research and found out he truly is a douche.
Is that a real picture of him on that article too?
Yes, that is a picture. That I do believe that this is an actual mugshot of him being arrested.
You might have to put that up.
Yeah, he's ever going to fucking...
I don't care how much sweet talking you can do. This dude right here,
he ain't getting nowhere with nobody.
No.
And yeah, that just and first off, like I don't care if you're fucking Brad Pitt, dude. Like how are you gonna at 3 a.m. leaving a Taco Bell? How are you gonna get a menage out of 2 female officers?
And first of all, I don't know anybody that would pull you over for doing 29 in a 20-mile-an-hour zone.
It depends if they're on DUI duty.
At 3 in the morning.
Well, at 3 in the
Leaving
morning,
a Taco
yeah.
Bell is pretty suspicious, yeah. But
I like how just leaving Taco Bell at 3 in the morning is suspicious.
that's fucking. Tell me that's
is.
not. Tell
It
me
is.
it's not.
I mean,
I agree. I just think that's hilarious.
if I was a police officer and I saw somebody leaving a Taco Bell at 3 a.m., I'd be like, yeah, that f***er's toasted.
I gotta meet my quota for the month. Better go watch Taco Bell.
Yep.
Looks like he's got
I
a
mean,
Gordita
that's-
Crunch. Oh, he's fucking.
He's fucking
He's
drunk.
hammered.
Fine, motherfucker.
He's eating a Gordita Crunch going down the road. Pull him over.
Never expected him to seduce me, though.
Can you imagine if that was real, though? Like, if it was real and you were the responding officer as backup and you rolled up
Christ.
and your 2 colleagues are in the backseat of a car.
Fucking
At that-
burped. Jesus.
Well,
Probably
if it's
Johnson.
over by you, it's probably
Well,
you.
it's not me.
But what the fuck would you do as a
I'd
as
probably
a
just walk away,
professional-
honestly.
As a career law
In
enforcement
the
officer
fuck
to
is
walk
going
up
on here?
and see the guy they just arrested plowing your 2 coworkers in the backseat of this cop car.
Hey, are you good? Are you good? Okay, I'll see you later. Peace.
Yeah.
Just checking on you, making
Anybody,
sure you
anybody in danger here?
making
Is
sure
this-
he was not raping you. We're good to go now.
There's consent all around,
consensual?
right?
Is this consensual? All right.
You guys want to sign these forms so I don't get in trouble, please? Thank you.
Oh, how do I delete the body cam footage again? How do I?
It's not like my browser history. I can't delete it. I've got one more thing before we end that I want to talk about, and it's something I came across this week. I tagged you in it. I think it's awesome. I don't know if it'll actually take off, but there's a company called Condition Red. What the hell? CROM is the Condition Red Ordnance Manufacturing. CROM.
Ordnance manufacturing. That just gets me fired up.
So you've heard of the 300 Blackout, right?
Yep.
They made a 500 Blackout.
Yes.
And
I'm in.
Condition Red Ordnance Manufacturing has this riddle of steel: how to create a highly portable platform that can fire a 50 BMG bullet quietly. The answer is the 500 Blackout, chambered zero dark 50. CROM already manufactures.
They're using all kinds of good fancy terms.
They
that
are
just turn people on.
Well, they already manufacture a 338 Lapua Magnum chambered AR with their CR7 platform. And they were wanting to expand the platform to other possibilities, and after some experimentation, they came up with the 500 Blackout. The 911 grain bullet they have as their primary load produces 2,385 foot-pounds at roughly 185 foot-seconds, roughly 5 times the energy of subsonic 300 Blackout. CROM claims a max effective range of 1,000 meters and a velocity loss of only 9% at 400 meters. Now, this article was written back last year. It actually has, from what I read, passed the SAMI certification test.
Sam, you certified this?
But
sure.
Besides using the existing 50 BMG bullets, they've also experimented with a 600 grain solid copper flat point, producing 6,000 foot-pounds of energy at short range, and a 200 grain aluminum hollow point designed to shatter on impact.
What kind of velocity are we looking at here? This is a 900 timeout. This is a 900 grain bullet.
Is this straight wall?
It's a very subtle bottleneck.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bottleneck.
But what kind of velocity are we looking out of the muzzle? You have any idea?
It didn't say.
Is it what does a 50 cal shoot? They're not shooting a fucking 900. It's like, isn't it around 500?
No, a 750 grain AMAX is like 2,900 feet per second.
I don't believe all the stats out of this, because you're shooting the fucking 50 grain out of a. This is chambered, or this is made to be in an AR platform, isn't it?
AR-10, I think.
I did not find anything on the parent case of the cartridge, though.
I think they said it was supposed to be an AR platform, like a normal.
Well, their AR platform that they're basing it on is their AR-7, which is chambered in 338.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, the magazine on that 338 fucking AR-7 is this fucking wide.
Right.
I mean, it's huge.
So it's even bigger than an AR-10 platform, because if they're going
a lot
AR-15,
lot bigger.
AR-10, AR-7, yeah. If they're doing 338,
Oh, AR-10 is not that big. Like I had,
it's still a short action. So if you do like a long action, like a 300 Win Mag like that.
Yeah, I had a Nemo Arms Omen in here the other day, and that made a freaking AR-10
look like
I was like, wow, this is a pussy round compared to this freaking thing.
Yeah.
So are they going to start with AR-5s now?
Those
I
are
don't know.
yeah, those are 10 ARs safer. Hell yeah.
Back to the Nemo Omen though. When they first got together, it was a bunch of guys that they were all, I believe they were all like military veterans, special forces stuff. Got together out in like Montana or Wyoming.
Montana.
But one of the videos one of their first videos was their secretaries. They dialed these ARs in out to 1,000 yards, and they had their secretaries who weren't shooters sitting at the bench dinging steel all day long at fucking 1,000 yards. I was
That's
like,
awesome.
That is sweet.
Yeah, that's cool.
But the price tag is not sweet.
They're pricey, yeah. But
yeah, I've not had good experiences with Nemo, and we'll just leave it.
But well, I mean,
I had a bad experience.
There's other companies too, like the Falcor Petra. That's another 300 Win Mag.
I don't know anything about them.
I do.
The Falcor Petra is another 3. Oh Jesus Christ, that's a disaster. That's another 300 Win Mag chambered AR.
Which actually, those are supposed to be half-assed decent.
Yeah, the price tag's about the same as a Nemo. But they're really high quality.
I had a thought the other day.
Oh, this is dangerous.
We're all pretty much hardcore gun people. What's like within the realm of possibility that you could actually afford for, let's say, under $3,000? What's your dream gun under $3,000? And if you say Grand Power Strybog, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Well, no, that's $700. That's not that.
For under $3,000?
I don't know. I don't.
MP5, SD5.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
That's a pretty good choice. How about you, Bob?
I would probably go with some kind of STI.
Go with the pistol.
Yeah, I'm more of a pistol guy than I am a long gun guy.
I'm not really an expensive gun type.
I'm not
of guy.
really. I'm not really either. But I think for
if
$3,000, I think I'd go with it.
If somebody gave me $3,000 and says buy some fucking gun, yeah, I mean those are both really good options. I don't know what I'd settle on, to tell you the truth. I'm not an expensive gun guy.
I might go the way of Atlas Gunworks instead.
Oh yeah.
Rather than an STI.
Hey, those are the guys that gave us the
right
the fucking, and I've never heard about them until I ordered that red dot from them.
Have you ever looked into their shit?
No, they got pretty good
stuff though. Badass guns.
Yeah.
They got some kind of feature that it's not like a feature, but it's their guns are so finely tuned that I forget what they call it. Like they zero it, so after you shoot, the recoil returns back to exactly where it was before. If you're like gripping
properly,
correctly.
Huh.
Are they competition guns, I assume?
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah.
Right.
They're fantastic.
Toad, what would you pick for a $3,000 price limit?
I was going to go with a PTR 91 G3 clone.
G3 clone, yeah.
Actually, it's either
I don't know.
Actually, what kind of machine gun can I get for $3,000?
Right, yeah.
Unless you have an SOT, jack shit.
Actually, for $3,000, you get your SOT and then just make your own machine guns.
There you go.
For $3,000.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I've been a fan of the G3 style guns. I had the one, and then poor Pete ended up with it because it was a massive piece of shit, and I felt bad for him. But
I told it. I said go back and tell him to fuck off.
Yeah.
He tried to hose him.
Do you remember that deal?
I wasn't gonna let that happen.
When we went and did that night.
What?
You drove over to Sioux City with me to that shady part of fucking town.
Yeah, that was shady as shit.
That nurse guy, and I've actually met him at a gun show in the Mars. A couple years later, we talked about it, but he's a big gun collector. He's a professional in-home nurse. He's actually a pretty stand-up guy, but it was either the PTR 91 G3 clone, or I really, really want an M1A match rifle in 308.
I honestly, like, for me, for long guns, like an STI, or not STI anymore, Staccato.
Yeah, yep.
Staccato.
Yep, you're right.
But like for a handgun, yeah, Staccato for sure. But for long guns, it would be an MP5 or like the SP5, or I would like a 308 Galil.
Yeah. for sure.
I would love to have a 308 Galil. I would do a lot of dirty shit for a 308 Galil.
Have you ever seen that?
And they are expensive.
Have you ever seen that other? So Israel makes some pretty stand-up guns.
Yeah.
And there's a company over there called Gilboa.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen the
That's
snake?
got that's double barrel.
It's a double barrel AR-15.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, if you really want to bring the hate on a home intruder, break that bitch out.
Yeah. No, I would love to have. I was looking on Gunbroker the other day. I was like, man, you know, I'd really like to have a 308 Galil. So I started doing some searching. Boy, that is out of my price range. They are $2,800 to $3,500 all day.
Well, you know, our friend, he's a friend of the show. I don't know if you guys have ever actually met him. Comments on a lot of stuff. He's really big into military surplus firearms from World War I, World War II. And if you ever look in that market, it's really fascinating to see how expensive those have gotten recently.
Yeah.
He recently bought a house, and if you're listening, and you didn't want me to tell this story,
That's too bad.
that's too bad. So he's got a lot of cool guns, and he's been kind of coaching me recently on what to look for and buy, because I want to get into that same collecting deal with these old firearms. He was going through his house, from what I understand, and before they bought it, the old guy
found a bunch of shit.
No, behind the door sits a number one, like a Mark I, like really nice, like really, really desirable infield rifle, and he bought it from the guy for $75
Decent.
and it's worth considerably more. It's like,
$200?
I saw no, like
85.
I would guess probably $1,000.
Not bad.
But I ran into him at Fleet Farm yesterday. I was like, you're a real dick because of that.
Well, boys and girls, I'd love to let you keep chatting, but you two sons of bitches will go on for hours.
Yeah, I get excited about old rifles. I don't know what it is.
It's not often we actually talk about guns on this segment of the podcast, though. So
Yeah.
I mean,
here's a question.
Sam's anxious. He's like, I want to cancel.
What part of sitting here having a few beers, talking to your buddies about guns, do you like disagree with?
Here's what we're gonna do. The podcast is over, folks. We're gonna keep sitting here and talking, though.
And we're gonna record
How about that, Sam?
It's been real. It's been fun. Peace.
I do have a question though.
7 inches.
In your fucking dreams, pal.
he was different question. It was as big as he's taken.
Okay.
Or smallest.
He was really ready for that question too. Like, he sat there and put some thought into it. Jesus.
So
boy, it's a good thing the podcast is over.
Oh, it is good. Yeah. So my wife's grandpa gave me this Remington 788. 788?
Yeah, you asked me about this the other day, didn't you?
Yeah. So he said I'm having trouble chambering rounds. It's 22-250. He's got like an old 3-9 Bushnell on it. Like this thing's straight out of the 70s. The stock it's a wood stock. It is beat to hell. There's no finish left on any of it. It's starting to get some surface rust all over it, and I cleaned it and oiled it, and he's like, I'm having trouble. It's really hard to chamber around. Well, come to find out, all the rounds that he's chambering are hand loads, and I think they weren't sized properly.
His cases, yeah.
So I'm gonna get some factory 22-250 rounds and make sure that they chamber properly and make sure that nothing's wrong with this thing. But is it? I can't decide on whether I should have Sam Cerakote the barreled action in graphite black and refinish the stock for him, because he just wanted me to clean the thing and make sure it was running properly.
Actually, what I would do is more along the lines of what they did at the factory. So Birchwood Casey sells a kit. And it's like, but if you're
not heard good things about that.
I used it one time and it worked fine
on a whole shotgun.
410 for my brother-in-law. Yeah. And they sell a kit, comes with like 3 or 4 bottles. It's like $30. And if you just want it to look kind of like it would have come from the factory, because if it's something he holds dear, you don't want to really go and just radically change the whole thing with Cerakote. Nothing against that. But for $30, you sand on the stock, stain it, and then it comes with barrel bluing. It's just wipe on shit. It's not going to last for fucking ever, but it's going to keep the rust at bay for a while. And it's kind of a fun little project. I would just hate to take that gun that he gave you and be like, all right, this thing's a piece of shit. I'm going to refinish the whole stock and have it Cerakoted.
Yeah.
I mean, if you give it back to him, he's going to be, pissed. Because I asked my brother-in-law.
That's kind of how that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I've been asking the family, like, hey, is he attached to this thing? Does he think it has character, so I should leave it alone? Or is he going to appreciate if I refinish this thing and give it back to him? It's kind of one of those deals where I love her grandpa to death. He is one of the coolest people. He's an awesome, down-to-earth, true, old-school farmer dude, and that's why I feel like I want to do something nice for him and, refinish this rifle and
or talk to
do all that. But that's something that I kind of...
Talk to Farmer Bob, because he has the bluing tanks to actually refactory blue it.
Yeah.
Is this thing ever going to get used, or is it just going to hang on the wall?
No, it gets used.
It sounds like he must have whacked about 1 million coyotes with it, because if it's been beat to shit that bad, it's been well used.
It sits behind the front door of the house. It's his woodchuck gun. So when woodchucks come across the driveway, he pulls this thing out and.
You know what a 22 video?
Oh yeah.
Woodchuck?
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to know what a 45-70 does to a badger?
Oh, I can imagine.
I think we've told this story before.
I think we talked about it.
But it was awesome when it happened.
It was awesome.
So, what do you guys think? What do you think?
Well, I'm biased, dude. I mean, to me, black is black, and frankly, to be 100%,
Sam wants to do dick butt camo on it.
to be 100% honest with you, I think Cerakote looks nicer on a gun than bluing does, but that's just a personal opinion. But it's not. It's
like
not
for
back
me,
to a factory. It doesn't.
Yeah,
look the
like
same.
for me, it depends. Because like a Model 12 shotgun, there's no way I'd Cerakote one black. No. Bluing, the nice, real high polish, high gloss finish of bluing on like a Model 12 shotgun with like a nice finished wood stock, like walnut wood stock. That to me, that is what a Model 12 should be.
Sure.
But
see,
certainly of like a bolt gun.
What do you guys? What about that Mountain Dew 410 bolt action?
Don't even talk to me about that monstrosity.
Oh, it's freaking awesome.
That is the most redneck thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's freaking awesome.
You shouldn't have asked us about that, Sam. Maybe that
every
the owner
one
of
of
that
us,
gun is listening to
every
this,
one
and
of
we're
us
just going to
dislikes that. We don't like it.
I don't care. It's freaking awesome. And it's not like it's a rare piece, dude. Everybody and their mom has a bolt action 410 shotgun.
I'll say this. The work is superbly high quality, but it's ugly as fuck.
Is what it is. All right, boys and girls. I'm gonna pull the plug on this episode. We can hang out and still chat, but we've had enough fun, I think, for episode 39. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by. It was a fun one. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Make sure you check out our Gears and Beers episode. We do that live on Facebook every other Wednesday night at 8:30. Yes, Box.
This episode will be dropping the Monday before our hangout. So we should mention, if you haven't RSVP'd to our hangout and you want to go to our hangout, get in the Life Short Live Free Facebook group and join that event. There's an event in there. RSVP if you're going.
You have less than a week.
Yes.
Yep.
You have to RSVP if you are going. There will be machine guns. There will be a keg. There will be food.
There will be fun.
There will be fun. It'll be
a fantastic time. You can
and if we get more than we thought we were coming, more people than we thought we were coming, we're gonna have to get another keg.
Well, hey, but yeah, there will be room for campers and tents. Plenty of space for that.
Yep.
Possibly a spotter pot.
Yep. Can somebody look into that? Anybody? Does anybody know where to get a spotter pot?
Nope. But I can
spotapot.com.
Actually, text Clemens. See who they have the golf course ones through.
They're out Orange City, I believe, if I remember right. But anyways, we don't have to discuss spotter bots on the podcast.
Portable shitters here on this episode.
It's been real. It's been fun. And then until we're back next time, remember, life's short, live free. God bless, and God bless the United States of America.
Amen.
I enjoyed that.